Laughter. How many of you in this room think you have a good sense of humor? Raise your hand if you think you do. All right. I always ask that very same question. I always get just about the same response, except one morning I was talking at a church, and it was in between services, and it was to the men and women at their Bible study or their fellowship or whatever. And so I asked that question, and I said, how many of you think you have a good sense of humor? And this guy raises his hand, and the woman next to him goes, I get this reaction too, and I say, how many think you have a good sense of humor? And I get people go like this. Then I get some that go like this. Then I get some that go. What is a sense of humor? You never thought about it, have you? You never thought about it. Come on. You don't know whether you have it or not. You don't even know what it is. That's why I'm here to tell you. The word humor itself comes from the Latin word humor, U-M-O-R, which means to be flexible, to flow like water. That's where we get that saying, go with the flow. Laughter. How many of you think you laugh at least 10 times a day? Yeah. It's the same response I get all over the world, believe me. Some people say there's nothing to laugh about. You have to find it. It's your choice. Do you know that your day goes according to how the corners of your mouth go? I am serious. Write it down, because you know that gravity pulls everything down the older we get, right? Yes, including the corners of our mouth. Yeah, look at people, their mouths are turned down. We call that the constipated look. You have to make a special effort to pull those corners of your mouth up. Wow. I'll tell you something you really should write down, because when you put a smile on your face, and by the way, how can you tell when it's a true, genuine, serious smile? Where does it show? Yeah, the eyes. When it's a sincere smile, it shows in the eyes. The eyes sparkle and glisten and dance. But when you have any kind of a smile on your face, whether it's a true smile or a fake smile, the brain doesn't know the difference. And you cannot be full of tension and stress at the same time you have that smile on your face. Yeah. That's really something, isn't it? Now, another prop I never leave home without. I've had it in my purse. I've one in my glove compartment. I have one every time with me, because you never know when you're going to need it. Say, for instance, and I don't know about you, but I happen to have just a little bit of a rebellious personality. And so there are times when I'm thinking, I'm not going far. I don't need my seatbelt. Yeah. But here I am. See a police car coming this way, or I might even be on the highway and I see a highway patrolman in my rear view mirror. Man, I'd grab this sucker and I put it on. And for some reason, as I'm pulling my seatbelt up, they're going right on by. I think they're actually afraid to stop. I was telling Marge the other day, I think I'm going to have my next driver's license, I'm going to have my picture taken with this. Just a simple red foam clown nose. Works wonders. You know, The first time I used my training, I was scared to death. I was to do a conference for 500 military people. This was the first group of service people, men and women, who were deployed to go to Iraq. And so they wanted to send these families and these people off with a smile on their face, some joy in their heart. So they actually hired me to come and speak to them for 2 hours. I was standing on the stage, and I had a full big screen there and a full big screen here, and I had just received my Certified Laughter Leader training, and I'm thinking, these people, if anybody needs to laugh, do they not? You've got to utilize that training, Jenny. You didn't travel all the way to Columbus, Ohio to not utilize it. So I said a little prayer to myself, and then I said to them, I'm going to teach you all about it. And I got them up on their feet, and I'm looking out into the audience, and I'm scared to death, and I'm seeing these uniforms and the stripes on this and the medals and on that, and I'm thinking, are they going to think this is ridiculous? Are they going to cooperate? Really? And so I did the same thing to them. I want to tell you something. I couldn't get them to stop laughing. True story. I could not get them to stop. I had to go get a whistle and blow it. This was donated by a school in New Jersey, and the driver was donated. We got off that bus, and here stands a good-looking policeman standing at attention guarding our parking spot. And so Lottie got off the bus, and she walks up to him, and she does an instant nose transplant. And so he's standing there and he's going, ma'am, I'm on duty. And I go, yes, and you need this. And he stood there with it on. So off we went, and we spread out, and we're walking amongst the throngs of people on Lower Manhattan because it was full of people. And here'd be a clown, and there'd be a clown, and here'd be a clown. And some of the clowns could whistle through their teeth, which I can't do, but they'd whistle, and they'd whistle the cop cars over in their patrol cars, and then they'd run out, and they'd do the nose transplants to both of them right there. And then those police in that squad car, off they go, driving, doing their patrolling. And it might be 2, 3, 4 hours later, we'd hear a honk, look over. There they were, still with their noses on. Now, we ran out of these. We ran out of them. Because they'd see us and they'd say, hey, you know what? I need a hug. You got any more of those green tickets? Or, hey, clown, boy, I could use some more of those yellow jobbies. Boy, am I in need of a smile. Can you imagine that? We ran out of them. Because the city commissioner says, bring them on, but I want you to do this. I want you to concentrate only on the rescue workers. Forget his words, the gawkers, of which there were thousands came. They wanted to see those ruins. And at that time, this was only 9 weeks after the tragedy that I was there. And you could still see the debris and the dust and the dirt, and you could smell the fires burning, and you could hear the water still being sprayed with the big hoses. We were so close. And we were told where the respite areas are, where they're going to hang out, where they're going to rest, and where they're going to get food and drink. Go to those places. Be there for them. And so, shoot, I said, I'm going to take lots of these. I packed hundreds of these buggers. Can you imagine those security guards when they opened up my suitcase? There's one type. I've been an OB nurse, helped deliver a lot of little ones into the world. I was back in the days when, oh, believe me, those of you who are nurses, and I know there's some of you in there because I met you. Those are in the days when you wore a white dress, white pair of pantyhose, white shoes, and a white hat on your head. Those are the days when the doctors would come up to that nurse's station, and what'd we do? We did. And we stood there the whole time they were there until they left.